What's up, y'all? It's your main man, Jay Sands on sports, hip hop, and sports entertainment at its finest. That's right, y'all. The big kid is at it again. And we have back. My man is back. My main man is back. Hey, Sensei, man.
What up?
What's up, bro? How you doing, man?
I'm chilling, man. Back in the building. Take a little
No
trip.
doubt. Yeah, man. Man, let me see. We did the last interview last week with the baseball guys, right?
Right.
Okay, so for some reason, I be feeling like I'm slacking. Like, hey, Sam, you're supposed to be knocking out more podcasts, but no, we're on schedule. We're cool.
Yeah. It's never too late. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so much happening every day. It gives you more to talk about.
Yo, and guess what? Some people do like there are some people that do a daily podcast, and
right.
Wow. The thing about it is, if you got somebody paying you, that's something different. But when you out here working and you trying to do the podcast,
the thing is going on.
We also got
all day.
No doubt. We got my man. He's driving from New York to Florida, but he's going to come in on the check-in because this episode is about engineering, mixing, studio guys, the guys you don't hear about. You know, we're going to be on this episode. So we got my man, Dave Darr, the superstar. What's up, Dave? Can I hear you? Okay, we don't hear Dave Darr.
Turn his mic on.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask him to unmute it. Yep.
All right, here we go. Yo, check 1 2.
Darr, what's up, baby?
Check 1 2. What 1 2? What 2? What 2? 1 2. Yo, I'm in the passenger seat right now, so I'm good money. Okay. What I was saying before was like, I'm not a DC guy. I'm a Marvel guy. But I do equate myself to Christian Bale in The Dark Knight because I just got out of the shadow world. You hear me? And when he came out of the shadow world, he dominated. You hear me? That's where I'm at.
Well, hey, guess what? We need you here in Baltimore doing crime fighting.
hey. Listen,
look.
Man. I'm a healer. Listen, I'm a healer.
Oh.
Warrior. Okay.
So you ain't jumping in front of no bullets. You just going to heal.
I heal with music. I heal with music. I heal with my music, and I heal with other things as well. But we won't talk about that now.
Yeah. We just got done talking about that with I forget my man Cornell. We just got talking about that. That's that Marvin Gaye hill. So yo, man. Well, hey, I'm proud that a friend, somebody I've known over 20 years, man. I've known Storm for a long time, and I'm excited to have him on the podcast today as the special guest, Storm, my brother.
Peace. Hey, man. Trying to stay busy, productive during these times.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Good to be here since, when'd you come to LA to do that Long Callus joint at the studio? When you was eating turkey chili from Vaughn's.
Turkey chili from Vaughn's.
Yeah, and Raw's getting lost across the street at the one type of video store.
And look, we would go out. We would go out. we would have the listening sessions in the car outside the studio, and got this big ass studio, expensive board, everything. But at the end of the mix down, you go in the car to hear your shit. You had to go in the car.
Oh, yeah. Car check. Take it in the car.
Yeah, the car don't never lie.
Well, Storm, can you do me a favor and well, first of all, this is episode 48 as well. And 48, who do we got? We got Dave Stewart, used to pitch for the A's, 48. Okay. We got Lee used to pitch for the Cubs. Oh, I had a Jerry curl.
Gummy.
Man,
He had a curl?
He had a curl, brother, and we're gonna get his name because he was a great pitcher. Lee Smith with the Jerry curl coming in the ninth inning and dripping, Jerry curl dripping, right, put something on the ball. Yes, this is episode 48. Can you give me a 20-second, 30-second bio about yourself, please?
Real quick, engineer producer out of Columbus, Ohio. And somewhere in between, when I first started putting CDs out in Columbus, I got flown out to LA. Still go back and forth to LA, but did about 14, 15 years out there. Engineer and producer. Started out as a producer. I didn't know how to engineer till I got to LA. I studied under a guy named Larry Funk, is responsible for all the SWV hits and that style of engineering. And then, after that, just start specializing more in the mobile engineering. So like 2006, it wasn't popular to send your files to an engineer. People were really concerned about bootlegging and stuff like that. But, over time as it is now, I end up doing a lot of stuff for major and independent artists via trading files through the internet. And that started cutting down on the studio bill for a lot of independent artists.
Yes, it did. Yes, it did. Well, let me ask you this, man. What is your favorite team starting with football?
Football, I always liked Kellen Winslow on any team. So that San Diego Chargers team, when Kellen Winslow and those guys was running around.
Yeah, cool, yeah.
Yeah, so I wasn't a huge football fan, but the style of the way they played was exciting to me as a kid. That kept me interested in the game. Of course, just seeing Earl Campbell back in the day, tearing through people, hitting people with the thigh. Lynn Swan, of course. But as far as a team, I went more by the players. But if I had to pick a team, I would say the Chargers was like the first hat I got as far as when Starter came out, just because of the excitement of the wide receivers.
Got you. What was it? A power blue hat?
No. I had the Navy joint with the lightning bolt on it.
Out of what though?
John Jefferson.
Yeah.
And what my man? Chuck Muncie.
Yeah.
Man, trust me, Jane was the running back. Go ahead.
Of course. One of the first people made impression on me in football was Lester Hayes with the stickum on the socks.
Yeah.
I just thought he was dope because, he was polarizing, but he was nasty. My favorite cartoon character or whatever childhood thing is Oscar the Grouch. That's like my spirit animal. So when I saw him, always get talked about in kind of a negative way, but he was performing, I just like the attitude of that particular Raider. I don't know about the rest of them, but I used to love Lester Hayes.
Got you. Well, again, what about baseball? What's your favorite baseball team?
I think baseball, for some reason, it always stuck out to me as far as Pittsburgh. I don't know why I don't follow baseball a lot, but for some reason, Pittsburgh stuck out to me around between 84 and 89, those years.
Yeah.
I just thought that was dope. And maybe I'm influenced by you.
Check it out. Those years is when remember when Dion Columbus Clippers?
Yep.
Yeah, I said it was in Columbus, Ohio, bro. I was there.
That was at on Cooper Road?
Yep, and he had Jerry Curl there. It was like Jerry Curl. Man. All right, what about hoop? What's your favorite hoop squad?
Once again, I go by the players. Definitely could never be a fan of Cleveland. It was just too disappointing all the time. It just hurt to be a Cavs fan back in the day when what was the guy that got drafted over from Kentucky, Sam Bowie, when he cracked his shin after all that hype, and it just Ernest Biner, as far as football, it's just hard to be a Ohio sports fan, man. It is. But to answer your question, I think I used to love watching the Spurs as far as just the teamwork. Boring, not the most exciting cast. Of course, we all love Jordan.
High school basketball team.
Yeah. So watching them, and I played ball in Catholic school. So the organization of that, but it wasn't exciting at all. Of course, Jordan, and Iverson and all them stepped the game up and made it flavorful. But as far as a team sport and people winning, I always like the Spurs.
Got you. And what sports did you play growing up?
Grew up primarily playing tennis. After tennis, it was basketball and little league football. But primarily, I grew up playing tennis, through 84. '89. Played Arthur Ashe when he came out here at an exhibition. That was probably like '85 at Langdon Sports on Bethel Road back in the day. So primarily tennis, and then I think the footwork from tennis and the attention to detail and the hand-eye helped me when I decided to play basketball.
Bro, I didn't know you played tennis. When I come to Columbus, we're playing tennis, dude.
Okay, yeah, that's the primary sport I started playing. And then, back then it wasn't like there was nobody to look up to outside of Arthur Ashe, a guy named Chip Hooper. So it was odd playing tennis back there in Columbus, Ohio. It was hardly anybody to play with as far as, and I was also like boxing at the East Side Y. So going from like tennis to the East Side Y, like in our community, they just didn't understand what tennis was. So it wasn't like any homies to go play with. Tons of court, like over there at Brittenell. Yeah. Like the Hood Rec Center always had the flyest courts because nobody used it. But it just was this thing like that was a country club sport or that was a weak sport. As far as I'm talking about my peers, as far as middle school, high school, elementary, like that, it wasn't really nobody. Like you could just go outside and pick up a game of football real quick, or you could pick up a game of basketball real quick. You couldn't do that like '83, '84. Not in Columbus, Ohio. It wasn't that a lot of people to play with unless I play with adults.
Got you. Buster Douglas beat Tyson because again I was in Columbus. He's from Columbus, and you brought up boxing. That's why I wanted to ask you, like, do you remember when Buster Douglas? Were you in Columbus when he beat Tyson?
I don't think I was in Columbus, but I do remember. Like currently, they told me he's at Thompson Rec Center giving back to the youth.
Oh yeah,
so he's still doing his thing. But I just remember, as far as being from Columbus, like no one, not even, to be honest, people in Columbus didn't even believe that he would win, or a lot of people in Columbus didn't even know who he was until he won. Mm-hmm. But I mean, the pride that hit the city for a couple of years, that was dope to see that. And I just noticed Vlad TV came to Columbus to interview him here to pay homage to him. But I wish people would do more as far as recognizing him, because I think he's more than just a guy to beat Tyson. Like, you still got to give a guy credit that he's a pro boxer first. Mm-hmm. And then you might have some good wins or bad wins along your career. But like sometimes we like to attach, just like in hip hop, you like to attach one credit to a guy and that's supposed to define him versus he's just a dope MC or a dope producer.
Gotcha. Hey, this is what I want to ask you, Storm.
Okay.
You get your top 5, starting 5 of all time ever mixing boards.
I'm gonna go against the grain and say the computer.
Okay.
Because because this is why I'm gonna say that. Like, I still come from the indie heart of hip hop, so unfortunately I could pay to go to the studio. But if I would say, like, as far as Franklin County and Columbus, Ohio, we never had like OGs taking us to the studio. Mm-hmm. We had an SSL board across the street from Columbus State, and we had a couple other studios that had bigger consoles. But outside of us just getting the money to go rent it, because my philosophy back then, before I learned how to engineer, was if I could just get my music to the street or compilation faster, I would make more money than the dude next to me. And this one, like, CDs was rare. Like, no one had a CD.
Yeah.
So I always believe it was smarter just to rent the equipment.
Okay.
Versus trying to save up like $20,000 to build a studio. I would rather just rent your studio and get 20 hours for $200 back in the day and get everything I needed and get out and then sell the product. I wasn't really too much concerned about how I baked the cookie. I just wanted to sell the cookies at the time.
Okay, gotcha. So can you name some of the top boards?
But the most popular boards, as far, especially for hip hop, is the SSL.
All right, that's one.
The Neve console, and those are the top 2. But then you start getting the bespoke boards like the Sony Oxford, and then you got to get into the Trident, and then there's like people that have custom boards like Soundcraft. It was not really a customer, but Soundcraft was like a brand that was a little bespoke, a little more expensive than Mackie was back in the day.
Okay, that's true. And look, let's not forget about Jay Sands' board, the VS8.
Yeah, like
that joint, cranking them.
I would say the Roland joints and the Mackie joints, which is crazy now. People are seeking those boards out now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, to run stuff back through them. But if money was no object and all three of us were going to studio, I would prefer SSL console with Pro Tools.
Yeah. The one guy, Adrian Young, he has an all analog studio, rap. I keep hearing about it.
Yeah. So I don't think he has a computer in there. There's a couple other guys, like rock guys, that do that. But I think that's more of a production thing because he's not really trying to open a studio up for rent per se.
Yeah.
Because what killed most people with the analog board is the recalls. So y'all will go to the studio and you call me back to come back the next day, but I can't have nobody else come in the studio because I can't touch the board because it's set for y'all.
Yeah.
You know, but the computer now, I can hit save on y'all, do another session, then when y'all come back, the setting's the same. The recall on the boards, no matter what nobody say, it's never exactly the same. Because people used to take pictures of the mixer and try to move the knobs back. It's just not never the same. But it's also a compromise between the streets. I try to compromise like the technical stuff in the mixing with the guy in the street. Nowadays, the person don't even have the playback or hear system to tell what's bothering you. They either like the song or they don't like the song.
Yeah.
You know, they don't care about what mic you used or what compressor you used, what board you used. They either like the song, they're gonna buy it, or they not. And they listen it through a mono phone now, so you kind of got to split the difference in hairs between how anal you get about your sound, but you got to care enough so you have pride in selling your product too. I do understand that as artists do want to feel good, so that helps them sell their music.
Yeah. Well, Storm, you hear that sound? That sound means we are going out of the first quarter and we're now about to go into the second quarter, my brother.
Okay.
Now check this out. This is what I want to ask you. The process of making it all fit, making all the sounds. You got 24 tracks of sounds, vocals, instruments, everything, and you got to make it all fit. How do you do it?
Okay, so first you start out with every human in the world hears between 20 hertz on the low end, 20,000 on the top end. So that's the parameters for hearing. So my job is to make sure I massage the sound so every playback system and every person that has hearing from 20 on the low end to 20,000 is to massage those sounds in there. So it's almost like putting all the ingredients in a big chili pot. The pot is the 20 to 20,000 hertz. Then it's a matter of like prioritizing between what you think your client wants and then compromise that with the bed of music that goes around the person. So for hip hop, of course, the MC, the vocal is the most important thing. You know, so because it's a song. You know, like it's a song. So like any vocal is priority, you know, to me in the song.
Okay.
But so usually I try to get the vocal to sit right with the snare. I always want the vocal to be a hair louder than the snare. After I got that, then I'll paint the kick, the bass line around it. So kind of like football, like the vocal in the center should be a mono.
Yeah.
You know, the running backs and all the important vocals should be straight in the line. After that, I kind of view it like a, you know, spread out the other sounds to taste, to be like, you know, the safety over here, the wide receiver over there, but less important sounds going left and right. I think where a lot of people struggle with mix sometimes is they start with the beat. And I never solo stuff either. So when I get a song, I just bring the faders halfway down and I listen to the song as a whole. I very rarely ever go through and solo each sound because that's not how a band plays. So I try to only fix what's wrong. So I try to listen to the song with the faders halfway down, everything going, and only fix what's wrong. And of course, I make the vocal the priority. And that usually the song starts mixing itself. With the kick, the snare, and the low end is right, and the vocal's a little, you know, the vocal's sitting right, the other sounds or the loops is going to kind of fit in the taste. Or the MC or the singer going to tell me where to put that.
Gotcha. I was listening to Young Guru. Young Guru was on Twitter maybe 2-3 days ago.
Mm-hmm.
He said, man, he was just saying something, but what stuck with me, he was like, man, just make sure that snare and them vocals is on the same plateau. You know what I mean? I don't know what y'all doing with your mixing, but we mixing hip hop here, and we want our vocals and our snares to be on the same level.
Yeah. Like anytime I do a workshop, I think that's the easiest thing to tell people that can't mix or learn how to mix is just to have a marker, like a point. It's like you know where the end zone line is. So the end zone line or the beacon in the song to me is the snare. Because if a snare's louder than a vocal, it just overpowers everything. And the snare cuts through phone speakers, the car speaker. So you just wanted a pinch louder than that. But that gives you somewhere to go. Or even if you reviewing somebody mixing for you, I always just like listen to the snare, close your eyes, and your vocal should be a little bit louder than that.
Yeah.
You know, and that just goes for the non-mixer, the artist, everything. It gives you a reference point of like where you should be in the mix. After that, I think the song starts mixing itself because like you got pianos and synth sounds or a jazz loop or something like that. You don't want the horn saying a jazz loop louder than the vocal.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so stuff like that. That's when you get into like, you know, what they call masking. You might have two sounds living in the same frequency. So say if you got a jazz loop and you was rapping, I would cut a small hole out where whatever enhances your voice. Say it was 7,000 hertz, I would cut 7,000 out the jazz loop slightly to give you a hole for your vocal to poke through, without destroying the dynamics of it. So you got to think of it like you got to carve stuff out the way. Like a rotten apple, you would cut bad pieces off the apple.
I like that, bro. What I'm looking for my mixing sheet. See, look, I mix some stuff too, bro. And actually, one of them is to me. But look, like they said on Jack and Spades, what? I'm gonna get you, sucker. All good superheroes have a band.
Yep.
All good rappers who try to mix their stuff keep frequency sheets.
Yep.
So when we're mixing our stuff, we can bounce all. You can hear it on the podcast, but you can't see it. But these are Jay Sands frequency sheets with all the frequencies.
Word.
I need help. I'm trying to get the kick or something. Man, shoot. At the end of
Yeah,
the
like.
I trust my ear, but man, come on, man, nah.
And then reference material too. Like I think a lot of people don't understand. Engineers, we listen to a lot of music. So like if you send me something, I try to listen to a song that's out or ask you what you like that's in the vein of that song. And if you learn and just imitate where the snare and the kick and the pads and the vocals are in the song you already like.
Got you.
You know, like that. I don't think enough people use reference or source material to help them, you know, get closer to what they want. Just imitate what some of the greats already did.
Well, I want to take a survey real quick. Dave Dar, my man, can you hear me?
Yeah, I get you.
What's more important, the low end or the high end?
Come on, man.
I'm asking.
I mean, that's the thing. Why don't you?
Yo, I'm a baby native tongue. The low end. What?
Got you. What about you, Sensei? What you wrong with, the low end or the high end? Couldn't hear.
Sensei's gone.
I can't. Hey, Sensei, I can't hear you.
I can't hear me either.
Yo, Sans.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna tell you something, man. Real talk, okay?
Yes, sir.
And all right. So the heartbeat, that's the first instrument, bro. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Or it could be the voice, but the heartbeat, right? It's a drum. It's a drum. And so you know, melanated people, that's our shit. The drum. So yes, the drums, 808. Listen. The evildoers right now, they captured the 808. They captured it, they stole it, and now they use it against us. So, yes, the low end is the most powerful frequency there is, fam. You heard me? It's called the root chakra. You heard me?
Well, let's get back to the evildoers. I like where you were going with the evildoers. So the evildoers got the 808 now. Because I remember that song by KMD, the 808 man. That's what Okay.
Yo, hold that thought, Sam. You're Storm, man. You're Storm. I want to say, did I meet you ever?
I don't think so, fam.
Yo, you a legend, fam. You heard me?
I appreciate you, man.
Yes, sir. Listen, Rawls used to tell me about you, and you ever work with Jean Grey?
I know who it is, but I don't know unless it came through Raws, because sometimes it just be files, and I don't know like who's who on the song though. I am familiar with that.
Your name is fire. You heard me?
I appreciate it.
Word up.
Yeah, man.
Word up.
Appreciate it.
Well, Storm, do you remember? Yo, I can hear you now, Sensei. I can hear you.
Okay.
So what's more important, Sensei? We like the low end or the high end?
The low.
Woo! Okay. Come on, get down with the get down.
You talking about all the records that were made that from the '90s was built on that, and it was important. So if you had a whip, and I knew mad dudes that had like cars, everybody had the 12s and the 18s and just like on the back seat and shit. So, that was the only reason why they were doing that. They wasn't doing that for the high end of the beat.
They want that 2 live bass. Yeah.
Yeah, bass all the way down the street coming down. They sound like in slow motion when they go past. Like, oh my God.
Okay, well, let me ask y'all this, man. In the 90s, who had the most bass in the 90s? There was a lot of bass in the 90s. Who had the most bass?
Nemesis.
Nemesis?
You remember Nemesis?
It sounds familiar.
The Munchies for your bass? Y'all don't remember them, like Kraftwerk days? A lot of B-boys used to dance to them.
Okay. So Storm, how old are you? How old are you, Storm?
49.
Okay, so you got 3 years on me. I'll be 47 in December. All right. Man, the most bass. I mean, listen. You can have a loud bass. That don't mean it's gonna be good. You heard me? The bass that was mixed the best. I'd say, shit, man. What about Troy Hightower? He mixes, Troy Hightower, Redman shit, Eric Sermon, EPMG.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that type of shit. You hear me?
Yeah.
He did beating us too. He did our shit.
Yeah, Troy Hightower. His bass is great, yo. He mixed. Like I recorded Reflection Eternal, and all he had to do was bring the faders up, and it was sounding good. But he added his sauce to it. You heard me? Oh shit, Shock G of the York. Oh shit.
Oh yeah, the Humpty dance is a legendary low end.
Yo, yeah, exactly. But I'm telling you this, I do the live sound too. So whenever the instrumentals from that Reflection Eternal album come on, yo, that shit sounds perfect. You hear me? In any arena, from SOBs to House of Blues. So it's not about having a more bass. It's about having an accurate bass. You hear me?
Yeah. Oh, I just forgot about a song. Like a song they used to kill was MC Breed Ain't No Future in Your Front. The 808 that mug is ignorant.
Woo!
I would say Marley. He listened to a lot of Juice 2 records, but Big Daddy Kane.
They was pounded. They was
set it off.
Hey, what
about
Cow?
Huh?
Yeah.
RZA?
Yeah, that's smack.
On the old
that's Carlos. That's Carlos. His name is Carlos Bless or Carlos something.
Yeah. I know he's talking about Carlos. He's been Staten Island. He was the mixer dude.
Yeah. Raw dog.
Yeah.
Your
boy Elliot was nasty, Sensei.
Yeah, Elliot.
Yeah. Elliot. Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you, I'm mixed a few records after we early stuff.
Shout out to Elliot. Yeah, Elliot. What's his last name?
Thomas.
Elliot Thomas. Yeah, I learned a few tricks from him. Listen, man, I'm a student of the game, and a lot of stuff Storm was saying, it was right on point, man. But like, listen, every song is different, man. Listen, I'm not that technical. Storm is probably more technical than me, but I'm more of a vibe engineer, and every song is different. So like, yeah, he's, I like the way he said he started with the vocals. This is very important. But when I was coming up, nigga, the beat, it was the beat. You heard me? And the snare reference you said, yes. But I come from a Q-tip, nigga. Snare loud, snare loud, smack you in the face. You heard me? When I was coming up, the vocal sat a certain place. Every year the vocal gets louder, and then you know who really made the vocal come up? Kanye. He's mixed all his shit 2-track, so his vocal is way higher. So now the game is different. Yeah, the vocal is the main thing. But when I was coming up, nigga, the snare kick, boom bap, nigga, boom bap. The snare smacked your head off. You heard me?
Yeah.
I'm all
Yeah,
for
those,
rappers' lyrics being turned up. I'm a proponent for rappers' lyrics.
yeah, I mean, yeah, the loudest vocals I've ever heard is the 444 album are the loudest vocals I've ever heard
Word.
Right,
on
yo,
a record.
Storm.
Like I've never
Yo,
heard any song with.
yeah.
And the dude I look up to is Jimmy Douglas mixed it, so I know that's a taste
But
thing.
I
I know.
think, yeah, I think it had to be purposely because me and you would have mixed it different, right? This shit is way loud, right? And the music is low. But that's just it is what it is. Listen, when we were coming up, listen to any Tribe or listen to any records from the 90s, from 88 to 94, the vocals fit perfect. Like you gotta listen. It's not like the vocals smacking you in the face. You had to listen to the lyrics. You had to listen. You hear me?
Yep.
It sat at a certain level. Now the vocals way over the music. I know it is what it is. It is what it is. It is what it is.
Yeah, hey, Sensei, rappers on top.
Yeah. I mean, and two, it depends on like the gig. Like, if it's my gig to do it, the rapper's always right.
Yeah.
You know, like
not necessarily though. Not necessarily because Storm. I watched you work, and I never. Only thing we ever did in the studio was listen to what the engineer did. I remember I got a story like my man Rich July. This guy. He mixed the whole Artifacts first album. He did a lot of other stuff, but
he did a great job. Your album, your album is perfect. The vocals not too loud. It's perfect.
Right. Rich, when he would mix, it'd be late night, man, like almost 1, 2 in the morning. And he'd be like, nobody else in the room. And I remember he said, yo, hey, you know what? Sit right here, sit next to me. You know what I'm saying? Because probably one day you're gonna be probably doing this, if not in another studio, probably in the future at home. Because he was talking about in the, like 94 how people gonna be really home. He was saying this back then. Dude's gonna be home in the studio soon. Because the way they're making all this product is for you to not spend so much money in the studio. And if you're gonna learn anything, he said, these buttons and shit, is you have to know what you're doing. And as far as like saying like and what you want your vocal to sound like, not necessarily for the music, but know what you want yourself to sound like. So a lot of times I would only say to the engineer like how I want my shit to sit, or as far as the ad libs or whatever, and the third ad lib track, and there's not nothing more that I need to say because that's not. I hear shit, but that's not my field to touch buttons to do things that I know I'm not capable of doing.
Nah, that's not your job. That's not your job, man. You hear me?
That's why we hire engineers. Even certain producers don't like to mix their shit because they feel like they're gonna fuck it up.
Yep. Yeah,
well,
my only thing I'm sitting there like, I just want my vocals here, there. But I feel like the mix part is the mix part. Like a lot of time when you make records, a lot of cats they want to hear the songs. They want send me a copy. I'm like, no, because by the time when it's done, it's probably gonna be like 2 other mixes before it get to the final one.
Yeah. What it is is that
dude to be comfortable with what he's doing.
Yep. And
what it is. Go
ahead. No, I said, but see, like cats like y'all is like easier to mix for because y'all better at rapping. You know what I'm saying? Like all that plays in the part and mixing, like how to project your voice.
Right.
So it's like you're easier to work with as far as if you're in the studio versus these other artists sometimes got 10 dudes in the room that speak for them. You wouldn't let nobody speak for you as far as your craft. That's what I mean. It depends on the gig. Like a gig gonna be easier with it's gonna be easier with L than say if Little Yachty there's 20 people there telling Little Yachty why we're spending this money on you.
Yeah.
Little Yachty is under more pressure because like we gonna yank this money if you're not listening to X, Y, and Z, and then y'all know how it is. They all eating off of the young cat too. So some people in the room gonna say something to justify their money of why they taking 10-20% from an artist. And it's not, and it's just a different scenario. It's just like I would say mood. I would say mood and the Artifacts. Both of you guys sound. You guys always had quality. as far as it sounded like a record versus other independent people when like everybody first started. Like Blunt Records and certain labels had a sound that sounded the right way. But the reason those records sound good is because it was the talent. Like if an engineer is engineering for y'all, he respects y'all as an MC. He put more love in the record. Versus now it's a cookie cutter. And there's nothing wrong with the cookie cutter, but now people want to recoup their money.
Right.
You know, and that's a different style of pressure when people want the money they paying me back. Versus it being cool and fun and we could reminisce about hip hop. Somebody could order a pizza. You know, like I don't really get I don't want to say I get the choice, but it's just different now. It's
every song is different. And like you said, like the artist, you know, listen, the artists don't know. It's only the artists that know what they're talking about. They got probably 5 albums under their belt, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a rare few artists that know what they want, or even they don't know how to achieve it, and they don't even know what they want. So listen, we're the professionals, you hear me? So we leave it up to us, you hear me? We get paid for this shit. This thing, we studied. We fucking gave our fucking heart and soul to this shit, you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
So leave it up to us. And yeah, listen, we have an auto-tone, right? Remember the auto-tone?
Yeah.
Yeah. So listen, we hip hop. If you start with the beat first, you start on a big speaker. The big speakers, knock that shit, knock it.
Mm-hmm.
So you get that shit right. Then you come down. You come down to the NS10s or whatever you have. Then you start getting a little more accurate, and then you start the vocals. But then you start loud, and then by the time you mix in the vocals, you fucking got this volume down turned to 2. Right?
Mm-hmm.
As long as you can hear every word clearly when it's down to the volume of 2, you're good. Listen, you have an auto-tone at Electric Lady. We had a half-inch machine in the corner of the room. We would turn everything off, make the audio come from that half-inch speaker. It's like a little radio speaker, but if you got the vocals right there, you were good.
It sounds good everywhere.
It's not rocket science, B. The shit. Listen, I tell other people like, yo, they want to learn. I'm like, listen, it's not rocket science. Mixing is like now recording is more technical, but mixing is all from the heart. It's all from the heart, G. You hear me? Mm-hmm. You gotta have it, yo. You gotta have it. Either you have it or you don't have it, nigga. That's what it is.
Yeah.
No doubt. Well, hey, check it out, man. We gonna end the second quarter. That was a hype-ass second quarter. Second quarter, and we're going into halftime. And
all right.
We're gonna talk about basketball at halftime, y'all. We're gonna talk about the New York Knicks because they seem to be behind for everybody. Matter of fact, I saw Julius Randle for MVP today on Twitter, man.
Yo,
let's go, Julius.
Sam, listen, I don't know, because I know you don't see them play that much.
Yeah, I see him. Yeah.
Okay,
I don't listen. I don't see them play that much.
Look, Sam, they be balling. I watched them 2 days straight. From
Yeah.
the first game, Tuesday game, I think, I was like, yo, hold up. I was like, I've been not watching, and I'm seeing the highlights and shit. I'm like, okay, I finally get in the house to watch the game, and it's like, third quarter, they down by like 10. They come back, and I'm watching back, and then usually like, these motherfuckers gonna drop this shit, and they're gonna not fuck around and do nothing in the fourth quarter. I'm watching them, and they in the fourth quarter balling. I'm like, okay. The same thing last night. I'm watching it last night, and the same thing. These niggas losing by 10 when I turn it on. I think 6.
Came back.
Going back and forth with them, and then they just like, they look like they ready to turn the curve of actually finishing games. And last night, when even that overtime, they went overtime, bro. Your man in Atlanta, this guy Young went down, and the other guy might have been started shooting threes, but it was like, I'm like, okay, New York, what y'all gonna do? He gonna run three, Philly nigga, shoot bad three.
Yeah. Listen, yo, L. I don't watch it. I can't front. I don't watch it, but they seem to be like the comeback kids, and that kid Julius Randle. Listen, I don't watch it. I watch highlights. Yes, he's an MVP contender. Yes, 100%.
It should be.
Man.
He balling.
He scored like 30 points, like 10 games straight.
Yeah,
Yo, he came to New York. He came, you know what it is?
Man.
I'm gonna tell you what it is, Sam. How long he been in New York? That guy, Julius Randle. How long he been here?
This is like I think first or second year. I think it's second year.
Listen. You know what? That motherfucker's going up to Dykeman B and kicking it with Dominicans and that nigga. You hear me? I'm telling you. Yeah, you heard? Listen. We got Dykeman basketball. Listen. We got everything. Okay, we got the best basketball league now. Rucker. Dykeman took over. We got the baddest women. We got the best food. We got the best energy in the city. Dykeman. You heard? He's hanging out in Dykeman because that nigga's lit. You hear me?
Well, what can I hang out in Dykeman?
Yo,
you need some random magic too.
Yeah, I got some Reggie. I'll bring some Reggie up.
Nah, yo.
Also, it's Thibodeau, man. You know how to coach. And he got
Thibodeau.
He got the fucking best people in the NBA. Come on, man.
Thibodeau, yeah.
So, okay, well, again, I haven't seen the Knicks in the mix since like Charlie Ward, Charles Smith, and Oakley. So the fact that they're back in it, they what I've heard is the NBA, there's nothing like the NBA when the Knicks are winning. So if any, great basketball that the Knicks are actually.
It's great. It's great for basketball. You know why? Because New York is the Mecca, baby. You know, like Jamaica. Hip hop started in Jamaica, but New York is the Mecca. The Garden is the Mecca. You heard me? So if the Knicks are doing well, Jordan came back. Jordan came back from retirement. Yo, this nigga scored a 55. He's going to hit him with a double nickel. Listen, LeBron, all his games in New York are fire. That's where you go to perform. It's the Mecca. The Mecca.
True.
Well, again, I just want to see good basketball. Shout out to the Knicks for doing the damn thing. Now, around the halftime, we're going into the third quarter, and I like to start off the third quarter by asking. We kind of went into it earlier, but is the home studio destroying the game?
You asking me?
Which game?
Because we got good music coming out the home studio.
But that's what I'm saying. Which game is it messing up though? Which game?
What's that?
Which game though? Which game is it messing up?
The rap game, the hip hop game, our game.
I'll let y'all go first.
Me or Sensei?
Yeah.
Anybody.
I say no because I remember the bills we used to get. I remember the bill we used to get from Platinum Island Studio in New York. And them shits was like, you'll say a dude's charging $50 was a lot for being in somebody's house right now. When you're talking about these motherfuckers like $80 and $100 for an hour, bro.
Yeah.
And that shit, by the second album, me and Tame understood why and what it meant to go over budget from mixing, like they used to think because we were in the studio, we were spending more bread doing that. I'm like, no, we was going back and forth mixing a lot of shit, like to make sure that it was sounding good. But like vocally, I learned that I don't have to be, if I'm not making the track and somebody gave me the beat and I only know I got to vocally go, all right, that's an hour or so. And I'm boom, boom, bang, boom, I'm out. And I'm sending the vocals away. And they ready to mix, do what the fuck they gonna do if they gonna do it themselves or somebody else. So it saves a lot of bread. You know what I'm saying? It might take away from the studio in the building physically, but for the artist, as long as you have a decent mic, like my man Joker on his way over here now, he might be downstairs. We got a good ass mic downstairs in the basement, and we got the laptop. And that, for us to just only do vocals, you shouldn't have to spend a whole bunch of bread to do something that's simple to do. If you have the setup to do it. So I think that especially if you active as hell doing songs where you're trying to knock shit out, and especially if you're making bread doing that, that shit help because I still pay my people when they do record me, or when I feel like I have the means to, or like I'm doing a whole lot of shit. I'm like, we knocking these shits out. Yeah, but you had no choice in the past. Fucking spending mad bread.
It get expensive.
I'm fast forward. We could afford platinum albums.
Oh yeah, you had a better budget. Yeah.
L had that budget. I didn't have that.
Nah. What it is. Listen, I'm gonna tell you.
We ain't had no big budget, but yeah, we had a budget.
Nah.
Look. We had a budget so much.
They mismanaged your budget. That's what they did.
No.
Sorry.
We had a budget so much so that when T-Ray, like I would say the one song that took the most time to do was Way Back, because we had all the other songs incorporated in the beat, like as far as like the samples that we had put in, and then T-Ray wasn't sure about a lot of shit, so he went back in, and whether if it was the bass line, whether if it was the snares and shit, I remember that I was there like every session, and the label when it was all over was like, yo, y'all spent a lot of money like in the studio. Like we was eating this shit. We found out
what it is. No, it's like yo, L.
You should have seen our food. They shut us down from getting more any food in the studio after that.
Nah, yo, L. All those studios, you know, they were raping everybody, so it was way over.
Well, yeah, a lot of people that didn't know what they were doing. I mean, but it's like, you know.
No, everybody. It was everybody. Listen, the label had everybody. The whole industry fell apart because of greed. Listen, man, they were charging people $200 for a reel, B. They were charging people $20 for a cassette. Listen, the shit was over, but the label would pay because they were in bed together. Listen, I know the game. It's a game, B. It's all a racket. The label, I'm sorry, man, but listen, you know, we didn't know. Nobody knew this. None of us knew this. But the shit was all a racket, B. Everybody was getting way overcharged for shit. So
you knew that. You knew that though. That's why we stopped going there, because niggas started learning like he's just saying now. We knew we had to stop either going to these big studios. It was smaller studios. Fast forward, that's why with Elliot Thomas come in, that they gave us. They gave us.
He's a hero. He's a hero. He's a hero.
They gave us better rates for what we could afford, and still gave us good quality mixing and sessions to where even if we was in the smaller room compared to the fucking big flashy room, we still get what we need. So that's
yes. The only thing that suffers from all of this, and this is just perception, is the sound quality. That's all. You know what I'm saying? That's what's suffering now. So it don't matter. Look, Slum Village demo tape, whatever that first cassette was, that shit sounded like. I mean, to me, it's Storm. We like, what the fuck? But that shit is a vibe, B. If the music is a vibe and it's good, it don't matter what it sounds like. Look at Slum Village first cassette. That shit made them. Everybody got that cassette tape from a tape. Nigga, but that shit was still hard, nigga. You hear me? So
when you listen to that vinyl though, it still sounded like it was dirty because that's how they made it. A lot of people, you know, they made this song on shit that where the mic sounded like it was like a CD.
Well, you know why, L?
But then also when they put it on the album, those same songs that was dirty as hell wound up getting mixed and sounding beautiful.
Yeah. And L, a lot of times, like, yo, we from the hood, B. Niggas be rhyming into the headphones. You heard me? So yeah,
I did all that shit.
Dog. You heard me?
Headphone, telephone, we did all that shit, bro.
Yeah. So yeah. I mean, listen, it's nothing in the world. I'm telling you, nigga, it's nothing in the world like putting a needle on a fucking vinyl beat. Nothing. You hear me? Nothing compared to that.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
Except a fucking beautiful orgasm. Fucking bad.
For me to decide that I like the fact that it educated the MC and the artist to know that they was getting overcharged. Like sometimes you got to get stroked to know that it's bad. So as an engineer, of course I want to charge the most money. And to me it's like playing basketball. Like going to the studio for me is like hooping at the guard versus hooping at a huppy court.
I'm not saying us. Yo, Storm, I'm not saying us. I'm not saying us.
I mean just for the whole game. I just mean like for the whole game period.
No. We deserve our shit. No, the studios, they were overcharging. Us, nigga, we deserve our bread. You heard me?
Yeah. It's just like I just look at it like, do I want to hoop at a huppy court or do I want to play in the guard? So for me to do my job and feel like I could do the best job for the artist outside of all the grimy stuff that was going on, I would rather be in the studio. I don't think anything can replace the studio because just the fact I can't hear good. I can hear good now with headphone correction software, but I couldn't do that when I started. So I needed to pay to go in a room where the guy had an architect build the room perfect so I can make the right judgment. Because I need to get done. So also, me hearing correctly gives me speed to help the artist get out the door. But I do like all the intricacies of the industry, from the merch to 360 deal. Sometimes stuff got to go left. So now all these artists are empowered. Like just in the merch game, now we can trade digital money with PayPal. We can trade digital money with Cash App. Now kids can buy stuff from you. Like kids don't gotta wait to get money from their parents. A kid can Cash App you for some merch and get it. So to me, this is like the greatest time to be alive for all of us.
That's what I'm telling you, yo fam. I'm telling you, like, back to the evildoers. They can't beat us, man. We find a way. We find a way. You heard me? We find a way.
Because most cats I met from here to LA, like most people are well intentioned as far as when they doing stuff. I do hear about the stories, but it's kind of like a lot of cats used to hide the information. Now the information is out there. But as far as if I'm just saying, if I was taking the MC to the studio and I wanted to give my best, I would try to take the MC to the best studio I could take.
Yes. Listen, Storm. I come from a 5% background. It's each one. We didn't hold no shit, nigga. So listen, yes. If I have a choice, of course I'm gonna go to Electric Lady, and of course we're gonna make the best sound. But what it is, it could go either way. Whenever you do a song with somebody and you nail it back and forth, it could be dope. But nothing beats both artists in the studio making a beat. Listen, this is my opinion. Nothing beats like the producer making the beat right there. The MCs are right there. Everybody's there. Nothing beats that. Nothing beats that feeling. But it don't have to be a studio. It could be a bedroom. You know what I mean? But as long as the people are there together and building it, the shit is fire.
Fire. The vibe gonna be better. But also, like, see, the studio serves dual use to me now too. Like, if the artist there is with me, I'm gonna go live with the artist because the backdrop of the studio is good for our brain. The look of it, there's a dream to be sold with your product. Like,
no, you know what it is. You're a businessman. You're a businessman, bro. You're a businessman. So yes, you're all Renaissance men. So you come at it with that angle. I'm just saying, like, I'm an artist, so when I do my music, it's a vibe. But yeah, if I have a young producer I'm managing or young artist, let's do it. Marketing, branding, of course. I'm gonna play the game.
Because it helps,
music, I don't play the game. I don't want to do no industry shit with nobody. Sorry, I fuck with L. He's not an industry nigga. So listen, when it comes to my music, I don't play none of those games. But yeah, you're a businessman. I get it.
Yeah, it's just two different gigs. Like everything is a different job. It just depends on what does the job call for. Sometimes you can go build a patio for your uncle on the low and help him out. That's one vibe. But then sometimes too, you build a patio on the back of the Hilton and you want $200,000 for it. But it just depends. I'm just talking about, like, a lot of cats.
You're a pioneer. You're a pioneer, bro. In your community, you're a pioneer. So you did it all. CDs. I don't know you, but I know you hustle every aspect of the game. Nigga.
Appreciate you. I just think the modern artist, like, that's just what we got to be into. We got to wear all the hats. If a label's allegedly jerking people, I don't really look at the labels always trying to jerk people, because I put money up on people and I want to recoup my money too. Just like if you buy a beat, you want to recoup your money from the beat, or you want to recoup your money from the microphone you buy. That's the same model as a label. I think the labels go left as just bad people. I believe there's positive people in hip hop that make hip hop positive. But music as a whole is just not the most positive thing. It's the people that make it go.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
And then too, is after a while, it's like due diligence too. It's like, how many times can people point a finger? Like we all know now to get legal advice. So like, if you're not getting legal advice and you're not copyrighting your music, it's like, how bad are people gonna feel for you when you allege that somebody robbed you?
No, listen, nobody now, nobody in the last like 10 years should ever got robbed. But before that, man, it's a vicious cycle. I got judged, so now I'm gonna judge you. Listen, yo, publishing. Everybody got robbed for their publishing. It's just now, maybe to like 1994 when niggas started knowing about publishing. You heard me? Everybody got robbed for their publishing. Listen, it's full of bloodsuckers. That's what I'm trying to say. Be careful. That's what I'm trying to say. Listen.
Oh yeah.
It's serious shit going on. This is our energy. This is our music. This is our frequency. We just control the world with this, but it's in the hands of the wrong people.
Yeah, that's what I mean. We're the well-intentioned people. You know, but it's not all doom and gloom all the time. I think some people like to latch on. Some people rather advertise the brand if somebody was getting jerked versus the win. That's just in our culture sometimes. It's like, it's easier to talk about. I'm not saying you, I'm just saying I hear a lot of clients come and describe the doom and gloom of being an artist. But they haven't even put out enough catalog to have an opinion yet.
Yeah. Listen, I've been, I'm like you, man. I've been in the game since 1997, man. You hear me? I got an internship at Electric Lady, summer '97. B, you hear me?
We're the only people that instead of calling our artists classic, we call them old. That's stuff we got to work on. You know, that's stuff we got to work on. Like, cats are classic artists, but it's our radio station and our outlets that call it the oldies, the golden hour. Our own people, our own DJs call our artists old. But if Rolling Stone or somebody doing it till they 90, they're a classic artist. Like, we got a lot of work internally. I'm just saying, from me watching new artists come in and people that are paying, a lot of them come in the door with just negative information that another sour MC or sour producer told them. They never send these young cats or old cats in the door with the light. Like, look, you got to be accountable for yourself.
Yeah. Listen, it's a lot of layers. Man. You're right. It's a lot of layers.
Let me ask y'all this real quick, because like I said, I do mixing. I've noticed between 2 a.m. and 6 a.m. seem for me to be like the best hours to mix, where it's like just the world is quiet. For me, is there a better time to mix? Like, even if you're in a soundproof room, you still know it's 12. You still know the time. So, is there a better time to mix, daytime or nighttime?
Everybody's different, man. And every song is different. Me personally, I like to start early, B, because I think, I smoke bud, so like, but I think by the time the later it gets, I think my hearing gets weaker the later it gets. Yeah, I'm telling you, that's just me. But I get up early, B. I get up early. Right now, I'm up at 5 a.m. every day, so by the time 8 p.m., my ears are like tired of the whole day, so I'm an early person, and but everybody's different, and everybody's different. Every song is different. And I could do late night. I could do anything. B. Late night, early morning. I prefer early sessions, like noon start.
Well, it just like I don't wake up every day till the crack of 3 p.m. Sometimes 5. So it's like, for me, it's just comfortable, like whatever you're comfortable with. But physically, your ears, you can't recognize highs the longer you sit in front of a speaker. So that's the first thing to go. So it's more of a time thing. Like, for me, if I don't get the mix right in 30 minutes, I quit.
30 minutes?
Like, if I'm producing, if I can't get the beat hot in 30 minutes, or I can't get the vocal stuff sitting right in 30 minutes, I try again another day. But you gotta remember, I'm doing volume of mastering other people's stuff and mixing. So for me, it's like the spurt. It's like I'm trying to hit a spurt.
You speed. Yeah, you on that speed game, nigga. Let's go.
Yeah. So like your highs. So it all depends on. I'm more concerned about like the volume level. So if we looking at a clock, I don't never turn my volume past 9 o'clock ever. I don't care who's in the room. I don't never go over 9 o'clock. Ever. Like, if I gotta lean in, then something's too quiet. If I gotta go back, it's too loud. Because like lower volumes just don't lie. Like, I don't care if the client come in and want to make it knock with Allsburger speakers and all that. I don't go past 9 o'clock. But physically,
Yeah,
for
you know
anybody listening to music, you lose your ability to judge highs. So what really happens is you'll start adding highs as you get tired to your mix. Everything will sound dull. Then the next morning, you're going to cut everybody's head off with treble.
Right. So listen, it's different because like I grew up right now I could do that speed shit, right? I could do it. I don't like it. I grew up, man. Listen, man, it'll take days to make this record. You heard me? Sometimes. Listen, I didn't grow up with the speed shit. We had time, nigga. We ate lunch, took breaks. I mean, it wasn't that loose, but like we were working. But like, listen, man, I could spend an hour on a snare. You hear me? I could spend an hour on a kick. The beat is real shit. Listen, man. The shit, you know, listen, man. Listen, man. I you know, listen, Electric Lady, Jimi Hendrix built the studio. You hear me? So this is a very powerful person, right? He's a very powerful person in our world. Listen, man. He's considered the god. You hear me? In music, right? Listen. All right. So listen, I work there, right? So that's his energy's all there. Listen, Stevie Wonder, all types of shit was done out of Electric Lady. So that energy's there. So it was a whole different vibe. I'm telling you, the sound. We had the best equipment. It was unfair, to be honest. It was quite unfair. You had the best equipment. Listen, that's why you got Voodoo. That's why you got Mama's Gun. That's why you got Like Water for Chocolate. That's why you got Train of Thought. That's why you got Santana. Listen, man. Listen, I'm sorry. Like you said, there's levels to this shit. And our shit, my shit was very unfair. I had the best equipment. But listen, you still got to know what to do with it. You can have the best equipment and not know how to fucking EQ or compress nothing. It don't matter. You still got to know what you're doing. But listen, I could just run any guitar signal to a fucking LA2A and Electric Lady, and that shit colored it beautiful. You know what I mean? Like, listen, the plugins that you guys see now, I played with all them shits in real life. You heard me? Real life. You heard? So it's like, you know, there's definitely levels to this shit. And I would take a whole day to mix a song, B. I would mix 2 songs a day, maybe once in a while, but one day, yo, you gotta make love to that bitch. You hear me? All day. Yo, I fuck a girl all day, nigga. And that's how I do my music. You hear me?
Oh, man. Hey, look. We are going to get out of the third quarter, and we are going into the fourth quarter.
Word up. Because I gotta go downstairs and start writing.
Oh, okay, no doubt.
Okay. Let's go, L. Yo, L, man. Yo, be you sharp. Keep that pen sharp. You heard me?
Oh,
whatever you gotta do, man.
I'm trying.
You got it, L.
Fourth quarter, we're gonna do Stiff of the Week. And since my man Storm is in Columbus, the epic center of Black trauma right now. Yeah.
Wow, Columbus Zoo.
Yeah, Columbus, Ohio. So the Stiff of the Week will happen to be Officer Nicholas Reardon. I hope I say his name wrong, but anyway, it's one.
Okay.
Yeah. It's like this is maybe the 4th or 5th time I had a Stiff of the Week, and it's an officer that killed a black person, but this time he killed a 16-year-old girl. Kia Bryant, you know what I'm saying? I saw the video once, and that's all I needed to see with the video. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, guys, sorry, real quick. I don't like to see that shit. You hear me? Yeah. And on top of that, I'm a 5% bills, right? Listen, man, this shit is a hoax, nigga. Don't watch it. We don't know these people. Do you know that girl? Listen, do we know what's happening? Don't watch it. It's called divide and conquer. It's called mind control. Listen. Don't watch it, B. How many of that same video have we seen in the last 2 or 3 years, B?
Dave. There's gonna be one tomorrow.
There's one already today.
I mean, we just had 2 15-year-olds shoot each other chest to chest.
Well, see, like that's different. That's different, right?
Yeah, 2 15-year-old dudes, one shot one guy. While the guy was going down, he got a retaliation shot on the guy on the way down.
Wow.
They both 15. And the day after Micaiah got shot, the next day.
But check it out. I'm sorry. Listen, I live in Florida, B. Listen, I grew up in New York, and you couldn't have no gun. I mean, yeah, niggas had guns, but it was illegal, right? In Florida, was down south, everybody could carry a gun, and they don't got problems. Now it's starting to happen, but listen, it goes back to the 808. Listen, this is all 360, nigga. You hear me? Listen. down south people, they respect each other because everybody's packing, nigga. They're like, yo, how you doing, sir? Hey, peace. Listen, in New York, nigga, it could be wild, wild west. You know who got it, and I got it. If I got it, nigga, I'm gonna take advantage of you. You know what I mean? I'm going to your block. I'm robbing your spot. So listen, they captured the 808. So even in Atlanta, Georgia, they were very polite, very, very courteous. I'm packing, you packing, so let's keep it respectful, fam. But now they captured the 808, and now the kids are going bananas. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, like Columbus, we got, you know, it's easy to get a permit, like 13-hour class, and they just started stand your ground on the 9th.
Yeah.
So ain't nowhere hotter than here right now because we got all ages and we got people from all over that try to come migrate to Ohio from the East Coast, West Coast, South, West. We got a lot of people that act like everybody. But as far as busting that gun, people bust that gun out here, and the cops bust the gun. It's just a terrible time for everybody.
It's a terrible time for everybody. It's a terrible time because you know, listen, everybody's lost. Listen, everybody's lost. Everybody's lost.
Yeah.
There's no male. Listen, I grew up with my mom, no dad. You hear me? You know who my dad was? Rakim. You know who my dad was? KRS. You know my dad was? Big Daddy Kane. So listen, now dads are around, but there's no real men. Niggas don't even know their masculinity. There's no men. There's no balance, fam. You hear me? There's no balance. So now, all right, there's no real men left. We the last of the Mohicans right here. Us four, nigga, and my man driving. We the last of the Mohicans, right? So now the women, now they off balance, and they should start fucking up. So it's a yin and a yang. It's a duality. You hear me? Like shit is all fucked up because of us, nigga. We gotta teach the babies. Look, the guy that's brand new, man. Listen, teach the babies. Mm-hmm. We gotta teach the babies.
That's why I want to bring to the attention with the thing that happened in Columbus, because there were adults on the scene before the police even got there.
Yeah, they didn't stop it.
You see a grown ass man kicking the little girls.
Yeah.
So it's like, man. I mean,
but what I'm telling you, it's a show. It's a show. That's not real, B.
The girl called the cop and
for help
back in the house to wait for him to come long enough to even say this one. She's by the garage door, like arguing, but it seemed like as soon as the cop came, because there was other cops over there, but they didn't even know what the fuck was going on because the fight kind of really didn't start until the other cop came.
Yeah, I mean, and
that side of the other car. So when the cop came, the girl is just like coming. She go after the one girl, and the punk ass dude, he kicked the girl. And this is all in front of the cop. What is the cop supposed to think? I'm not trying to take up for nothing he did. I'm just saying, like, when you show up to a scene and he's walking up to it, don't see shit happening until, like, even if, say, you get called to come help fight. And a lot of times we see a lot of motherfuckers die because of shit like that because they don't know what's going on with the beef. They show up and you show up and you see a girl falling in front of you. The dude coming, kicking the girl. You see the knife in this girl's hand, and she going after a chick that had a back turn, got a dog in her arm and shit. Who is the woman that caused the one
I mean,
trying to stab?
Yeah, and the thing is like, I mean, of course, it ain't gonna never be a good answer, but it's like, a lot of our media pride themselves as the stun gun is the additional thing that was supposed to stop this on their hip.
They wouldn't stop that girl.
Yeah, but I would rather them just go ahead and stun. I'd rather them just stun the whole block and everybody lives.
Right. For the stupidity of shit that they were doing at the moment that he had to come shut it down.
That was Wild Kingdom. It was wild as shit by the time you get out the car. But I mean,
I'll say this. With everything everybody's saying, what he could have did, should have did. I also say I want y'all to ask that girl with the dog how she.
Yeah.
Then look, you gotta take this into consideration, right? The girl that with the dog was like this, bro. When she's coming with the knife, so let's have her on the news and have everybody ask her how she felt knowing that the knife was really about to go through her. They showed a scene with the cop walking her to the car. And I take it to the cop, like, yo, she tried to get me. She almost got me, but he got her first.
Yeah.
Ask that to the cop showed up. She probably be dead.
That's why I would just prefer a mass stunning at them events. You know, everybody would be alive if everybody got the ray gun from A to B. We could sort people out when they regain consciousness. But
I think the thing that got me the most was her.
But
mom.
4 shots.
When they showed her mom was so calm and wasn't crying. It's just the mom was like they killed.
That's not her mom though. That's her foster mother.
No, her real mom, not her foster mom. Her real mom showed up to the scene as well.
Oh.
After she got killed, the one with the dreads and all that, had glasses on, and she was just so calm. And I'm just like, you know, we've been so desensitized. Like basically, they used to do
We've
this.
been desensitized. Sorry to cut you off. We've been.
This is a war.
Go ahead.
This is
go ahead.
a war.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead, man. Say that shit.
You know what I mean? As far as you know, to traumatize people and create the police state. You know what I mean? There's a
yo, I'm gonna take it further.
I explain it all, but trust me.
I'm gonna take it further. I'm gonna take it further. It's war tactics, but it's way over our head. Listen. I'm sorry. Rest in peace. Rest in paradise. Whoever perished. But listen, you can't watch it. You can't. They gotta go. Look, listen. It was their time to go.
I tell you this, Dave. If right now, you know why it's so real? Because at least one time, for something we watched for George Floyd, this nigga got off. He's going to jail for real. Look, Dave, the cop is going to jail for real.
Yeah, real life.
What we watched. What we watched happen. I'm gonna say this before that day when I was watching CNN.
Yeah, you still here, Al?
I still hear you.
Okay.
I lost you.
Let's say dipped out. Well, it's all.
Yo. No, what I'm saying. Can I finish? What I'm saying is before I forget. Okay. Well, he mentioned George Floyd. Listen, man. Listen, you guys study Malcolm X?
Yeah.
Malcolm X has an interview where he's like, yo, okay, listen, man, you stabbing me in the back, right? You fucking stabbed me in the back 9 inches. All right, you pull it out 3 inches, okay. I still got the knife in me, B. All right. You gonna pull the whole knife out? Okay, thank you. But listen, I still got the wound. You're not healing the wound. You hear me? So it's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. Don't watch it, please. I'm telling you, man, don't watch it. If we don't watch this shit, the media is a weapon of mass deception, okay? That's all it is. It's a weapon, bro. Don't watch it. None of it. You can't trust none of it. Listen, man.
Well, I'll say this, Dave.
This is war, B.
I catch it a lot on my feeds, whether it's Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. It's like it's hard to miss it because first of all, you don't even know what you're watching. You just see an interesting image on the cover of the video. You're like, wait, what's this? Hey, man, that might be oh no, it's a black motherfucker getting killed.
Something never happens to me. Like, whatever. You know, listen.
Like before these videos trend,
just watch out for myself.
Like maybe 20 times, I just didn't pay no attention to it. You know, I kept on scrolling. I don't know what that is. And then, somebody got killed. Oh, that's that video. Oh, wow. You know what I mean? That's usually how it boils down. Like, I jump right into it, but it's there when you're doing this. When you're doing
and then too, we got the mental capacity to filter out bullshit and not bullshit. You know, I can watch anything. I can leave it up to me to trust myself to know what's hype and what ain't hype. Because I get to.
You're a thinker.
I'm here.
You're a thinker.
Yeah, but I'm here though. Like I'm driving past the memorials and the blood on the sidewalk.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, what you're talking about is us killing each other. That's what you're talking about. But yeah, that's us. Yeah, that's us. You hear me?
You're talking about the girl though. Like,
I'm talking about the girl. Like I can go drive right past, see the flowers and the teddy bears and the blood on the sidewalk.
Like, Listen, I could drive past a movie set, nigga, and see the same shit. Listen, you don't know if it's a movie set. See, I'm telling you, that's what I'm trying to tell you. It's all actors. They're all actors. I'm telling you.
Nah, sometimes yes, sometimes no.
Yeah.
You know, we've all seen people in the hood get shot in front of our own eyes, and I ain't even talking about us. I live in Ohio. It's racist as hell out here.
Racist. Cincinnati.
The nasty daddy.
We're getting out of that. We're getting out of that.
One thing. Let me say overtime. Listen. My best friend is a white guy. So listen. You know, that is called. I'm gonna tell you what it's called. It's called the crayon game, right? We playing these crayon games for no reason. Look, the black man is God. It's simple. It's scientifically proven. The black man is God. You hear me? And everything comes from black. Okay, so it's science. Listen, it's all proven. Accept it, please. Pale face. You hear me? Listen, I'm an indigenous person to the earth. So listen, I got my ancestors. My ancestors have beef with people. But listen, I can forgive them. So listen, it's basic stuff, man. Listen, man, like me, you, Storm, we indigenous to the earth. We are indigenous to the earth, right?
Word. I'm with you.
No, but wait. Jay Dilla, John Coltrane, you know, people like this. Now these people, they're intergalactic beings, okay? So we're mixed. Me and you are mixed with we were here indigenous. John Coltrane came, his race came, Anunnaki. It's called Anunnaki.
Dave.
You freezing, Dave.
It's all good. Because guess what? We're in the fourth quarter right there. We're ending the fourth quarter. And one thing I heard on Baltimore. Can't hear you, man.
Yeah, I'm here. Well, I'm sorry.
No, you was, first of all, Dave's driving from New York to Florida, and he's going to be going in and out. He just hit
sorry, guys. It's some dead spots, but I love all of you, man. And I'm sorry, I'm very passionate. I'm very passionate. Right? I'm sorry. Yeah, sorry,
man. All good.
Check this out, man. Hey, look, you're gonna have me calling you every week to be on with me and Sensei. So go. We love the passion, man. We love the passion. So yo,
your hat is fire. You got a master's hat?
Oh yeah, no problem, baby. Yeah.
Woo! Okay, listen. Let's get into fashion. Look at L. I mean, he got his own shit.
Oh, he got some brand.
All right, fashion. Let's go to fashion. Listen, hip hop. Well, the world is going to look. Fashion is very important in every aspect of life. So what you got on? What shirt you got on, Sam?
Oh, I got the hood. Northside, Pittsburgh, Manchester, 15233 zip code.
I got the hood. L's the only cat that I know that I met. I tell young MCs about you the other day. I said L's the only dude can name his inventory size and colorway off the top of his head. I was like, if anybody else can't do that, you lack it. Like, if no one else could do that, you lack it. Like he knows size.
So I know all of that.
You killing the merch game, bro. Keep it up, baby. Keep it up, man.
I'm trying to get everybody to wear a shirt, man. Or being
no, man. Your logo is one of the best logos ever. This shit is a hip hop logo. You heard me?
Yeah, it'd be like I got an olive with navy blue on it. I got 2 mediums and 2 smalls. I said, damn, I got to step my merch game up.
Your Storm. You heard me? You right?
I never seen nobody do that.
Your Storm.
Yeah. That's why I do the inventory every week. I try to keep up with it. I've been looking at it all the time.
I know what's left. Post office in the bank. Sensei, post office, we going to bank. We going post office, we going to bank, Sensei.
Yeah. But
I just try to speak it up. The lady at the post office, I told her, I was like, yo, I'll see you tomorrow. One time she told me, like, I ain't see you in like a week. I was like, oh, what?
Yeah, that's dope.
Like,
I
it ain't me though.
I just told the young head that. I said, yo, you lacking. I was like, I know a dude off the top of his bean know where everything is, size, colorway, what's in stock, what's out of stock. No help, just him by himself and a PayPal address.
Right.
Every
PayPal
size,
cash.
inventory,
Yeah.
medium.
Yeah,
Red,
sticker. Then he hit him with the sticker mule tape on it with the logo. Sign each one. I'm trying to tell you, man. You walk in marketing brochure for these indie artists.
Hey,
man, I appreciate that. I mean, that's the one thing. I tell everybody, man. If they got they on point, it works.
Yeah.
What's that that they have for like pictures and artist stuff? The new currency, like the Bitcoin, what's it called?
NFT.
Talking about NFT.
You can save that for your next show.
Yeah. Let's study. Yo. All right. I gotta do homework on that. Thank you. I gotta do homework on that. It's very empowering from what I hear for us, because nobody's taking our master. Because we own our masters. That's what that is.
NFT right now working real good if you got a fan base.
Yeah. There you go, Al. Woo!
That's what it's geared for right now. You got a fan base with some following, then NFT is like really good to do now.
Yo, fellas.
Your storm.
Yo.
Your jacket is fire, bro.
Appreciate it, man. You know, it's Ohio. I'd rather have a T-shirt on than being in the jacket, but it's crazy out here. It was snowing. Yeah, it was snowing 2 days ago, man. I'm over it.
They can't smell it.
Yo, guys, hey guys, sorry. I live in sunny Florida. Woo!
I know. I know. Yeah, it was snowing 2 days ago.
Dave, I'll be down there the end of June too. I'll be down there the end of June.
Okay. We get up, yo, we get up.
Hey, Dave, we're getting the hell out of here, man. I gotta go get something to eat, man. We're getting the hell out of here, man.
Yeah, I gotta eat too.
Me too. I gotta get downstairs.
I want to thank you for being on the joint with us.
No problem at all, man. Y'all dope.
And just an outro tip, I just want to give a RIP to DMX and Black Rob, yo.
And we gotta give one tonight to my man Shock G from Digital Underground.
Hey, go on.
Yeah, he died.
Man, I ain't even know that.
Yo, please, let me say a word. Shock G, he's a funk musician. He's a funk. He kept funk going live. All right. Black Rob got one of the best flows ever. If those kids is there and say, you know what, who's your top 5? And they say Black Rob, I say, okay, you got that one. DMX, what can you say about that guy, right? He's gonna help everybody now. From heaven, he's gonna help everybody. He's gonna be, yo, the shit's fucked up down there. You heard me? Everything's fucked up down there. So he's gonna do his thing. He's gonna do his thing.
Just hit me in the head with a brick. I'm talking 55-pound dumbbells.
When we got on, I saw it.
It's crazy.
Hey man, we at that point, man. It's like, you know, we getting older, man.
Yeah, but it's you get the more further what you go to.
Hey guys, yo, I was feeling really bad. I felt like I was aging. My hair was falling out. I wasn't working out. I wasn't eating right. Listen, man, that's all it is. It's a mindset. You heard me? It's a mindset, right? It starts. Elijah Muhammad has a book called Eat to Live, right? Read that book. It's simple. Eat to Live, right? You start with that book. You change your life. You change your eating. Right? And then you gotta stay active. Movement is medicine. You gotta stay active. And then you gotta take herbs. Remember, we're indigenous. We're indigenous people. We gotta take herbs. No prescription pills. You hear me?
Well, Sensei, on the outro, man, give us an update on the new Artifact album and everything going on with the merch.
I got a better update this week. All right, so like Plant, he's taking long because it's like high demand for all this stuff for everybody vinyl. So hopefully by June it should be pressed. So we got a whole month to go through May. Hopefully it'll be done.
Yo,
now do your marketing, L. Market for 30 days hard, and you hear me?
Also, some dude from Baltimore is supposed to be hitting you up for a show. I don't know if he did it yet, but some dude from B-More is supposed to be hitting you up for a show as well.
Okay.
Yeah, it's going. Hey, Dave Dar, man, can you give us something on the outro, a little shout out to go, take home with us.
Shout out to everybody in the earth. Shout out to everybody who's going through some pain right now. You hear me? It's not over. Don't
Shout
give
out
up.
my man Cannon.
Not over. Shout out to my son Cannon. His birthday's on the 26th. You heard me? And we're gonna turn up. We're gonna turn up. You heard me?
No doubt, Storm, man. Can you add some words of wisdom on the outro? Let people
I got a 5-song EP coming out called Turn Pain into Art. It's an acronym to PIA. So it's featuring 3 singers and Malik from Spirit. The 3 singers currently or they used to sing for Fantasia.
Okay.
So that's coming out. It just got back from mastering. I got a body care line called Cerebro Lux. Whip shea butter with coconut oil. And I don't know if you can see it. You know what I'm saying? Got the all natural lip balm to go with it.
Storm. Me and you, they call there's a producer named the Alchemist, but we the real Alchemist. You heard me?
I appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. And then appreciate it. As far as just this far as a good word on the way out. Yeah, as far as a good word on the way out, just catch just don't give up.
Yeah.
Just don't give up.
Don't
give up, man.
What's this?
Get in contact with you, follow you, and all that.
Okay,
everything is at storm9000.com. So STORM 9000. Everything Storm9000. EQ, I got free EQ charts on Storm9000, free PDFs about mixing on storm9000.com.
Wow. Free. I
recommend that, anybody who want to learn engineering, I recommend you follow that man. You hear me?
Cool. Appreciate y'all, man.
Contact me first, because I'm accepting all Storm fees.
Jay says it's my broker.
I got an EP with Milano. I got an EP with Milano Constantine coming out. You hear me?
I just heard the new album with Showbiz. I just
crazy. He's crazy.
Dude.
Well, check this out, man. We're going to get the hell up out of here. My name is that's Elder Sensei. That's Dave Dar. And that's our special guest, Storm9000. This Sands on Sports, and we out of here, y'all.
All right, peace, y'all. Appreciate all y'all.